As an immigrant in the UK, there is a 66% possibility that it's going to take you way longer to access credit card facilities. And the disadvantages of this is that you have limited access to financial opportunities, difficulties in renting or even getting a mortgage, and challenges in building a solid financial foundation. In this video, I'll be showing you 7 credit card mistakes that you need to avoid as an immigrant in the UK. And I would also give you tips and advice on how you can start building your credit score. Hi, my name is Uche, and I make videos helping you make sense of the sometimes confusing world of finance. The UK financial system can be quite complex, especially to immigrants and newcomers. And if you have no idea what you are doing, you might find yourself experiencing difficulties with limited access to financial opportunities. But before we get to the mistakes, let's take a look at the basics and understand how it all fits. Now, when you first get into the UK, you have something called a credit history. Your credit history is like a report card that shows lenders and borrowers how you handle money. So every time you borrow money or you use credit, it gets noted down in this credit history report card, kind of like your own diary for your personal adventures. So your credit history will have things like how much you've borrowed, if you are owing any money, if you've missed any payments, stuff like that. These reports are then collected and then turned into a number called your credit score. So the higher that number, the better your money story looks to others. So your credit score is then used by lenders and banks when you want to borrow money, when you want to rent an apartment or get a mortgage, or even when you want to sign a phone contract. Now we have an idea of what credit score is and credit history. Let's look at some of the mistakes that immigrants make. The first one is having no knowledge at all of credit scores. Like I just mentioned, your credit score is more like your financial report card, and it details, it shows to lenders and it shows to banks how good you are with money. So it's the one thing they look at before they decide whether to borrow you money or if they are going to charge you more interest. So whether you're applying for a mortgage, you're trying to get a rent, those 3-digit numbers can be the difference between an approval or a rejection. So here are some tips that you can use to get more information about a credit score. The first thing you need to do to fix this is to get some knowledge. Educate yourself. Take some time to learn how credit scores work, how credit cards work, and educate yourself on the financial situation in the UK. The next thing you need to do is to use credit responsibly. Coming into the UK as a newcomer, you might have previous beliefs about credit and how it works. But by educating yourself and learning how to use credit responsibly, you can start figuring out your credit history, improving your credit score, and getting better financial opportunities. The next mistake is not building credit early. And I see this happening all the time. People who have been here for a couple of years have no idea what their credit score is, or even have any plans in place to build their credit score. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You just landed in a country that you are not familiar with, so building credit would be the last thing on your mind. Think of it like this. The sooner you start building your credit, the more robust your financial foundation becomes. So here are some tips that you can use to start building your credit early. The first one is you want to get on the electoral registrar. This is quite easy. All you need to do is do a Google search, apply with your full names and your address, and you will get put in the electoral registrar. The second one is you want to stay on top of your bills, so make sure you are paying your rent, you're paying your phone bills, your electrical bills on time. You can set a reminder or do a direct debit on your account so you don't forget. And then lastly, you want to ensure that all your details are correct. So you can do a search on some of the credit companies to ensure that things such as your full names, your addresses are all correct. Now, the next mistake is misusing credit cards. Now, think about this. You're out shopping with your friends and family, and then you see something that you really want. Now, without a second thought, you bring out your credit card and swipe away. It's easy, it's convenient, but here's the kicker. If you're not careful, impulse buying or impulse shopping can snowball into a huge debt problem for you. Here's why credit card misuse can be a problem if not properly checked. So when you carry over a balance, when you don't pay your credit card statements on time, the balance that you carry over to the next month, you get charged on interest on it. So you need to pay over the capital, and also you need to pay your interest. And if this is not cleared off in time, you find out that you keep making payments on the interest. So you need to be wary of impulse buying and ensure that you are using your credit card on only things that are important or things that you can easily pay off the balance at the end of the month. Now, here are some tips that you can use to avoid credit card misuse. The first one is to set budgets and stick to it properly. Before you swipe away at that credit card and before you make that impulse buying, ensure that it fits into your budget and that you actually need it and know what you are doing. The best thing to do is to set spending limits for different categories and ensure you stick to them properly. The next one is to pay your balance in full. Now, this might sound very simple to do, but if you miss a payment, you get charged interest. My one advice is to set up direct debits on your account so you don't forget. And lastly, you want to track your spending. Regularly review your credit statements and ensure that there are no unauthorized charges or payments that you do not know. And if you find any such payments in your statements, you can always reach out to your credit card company and have them investigate. Remember, credit cards can be powerful financial tools when used responsibly. So ensure you keep those balances low, make sure you make all payments in full, and watch your credit card SOA. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more information, and I will see you in the next video.